Hello, Motivators family. This is Marlene Motivates, and I am your life coach for motivation, inspiration, and more. And today we are on the Financial Podcast where we talk all things money, and we do this every other Friday. This round, we are here at Marlene Motivates, and in 2 weeks, we will be back at Lisa J. Stock's channel. And this is my co host, Lisa J. Stocks. Welcome, Lisa, and introduce your channel to everybody.
Good afternoon, Marlene, and everyone tuning in. Thank you for having me on. So, yes, my channel name is Lisa J. Stocks, and I talk all things money related, primarily about investing into the stock market. But there are so many other things that go hand in hand with that to have a full path to having the best financial outlook for yourself. So we touch on budgeting and credit cards and other topics from time to time. So make sure to check me out if you're not already subscribed.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Yes, thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much.
Thank you so much, Lisa. And you guys make sure you go over and you check out her channel and check out her awesome content. So, today on the Financial Podcast, we are talking about learning from the past and doing better financially. We do think that it's so important to be literate financially, to have the hard conversations, to talk about some things that may be going on in the economy or in our life or in the past. And today we're talking about learning from the past and doing better financially because we can get some examples from the past of things that didn't work for other people. Maybe you know your relatives, or maybe it could be yourself. Maybe some financial decisions that you made that it wasn't the best decisions, but now we're learning and we're growing so that we can do better. Lisa, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you don't need to don't take it step by step. Don't be overwhelmed. And just like you just touched on, as you know better, you do better. So don't beat yourself up about it. All we can do is continue to make progress one step at a time.
Exactly. One step at a time, we do better financially, we make better financial decisions. And one thing that we're very accountable over here on our channel, no matter what you've been through, whether you did not have the financial awareness, the literacy, that's not good enough. We are not the ones that make excuses for what hasn't happened, what we didn't know. Now we're adults and we learn, we do better, we gain the knowledge, we become accountable so that we can be our best self. And today's topic is learn from the past and do better financially. Because if we don't learn from the past, if we keep making the same type of decisions, or we don't learn from the examples that we had in front of us, whether it's our family or the things that we've seen maybe on social media or other big figures in the entertainment field, we can learn from those individuals so that we can apply it to our life and say, I'm not going to make those same mistakes. Lisa?
I've definitely made the mistakes. We've touched on them through our live streams together. And I always say that a smart person can learn from someone else's mistakes. So I'm definitely here to be transparent and share the good and the bad. And even if it's a mistake that I made more recently, not way back when I was 20 years old, uh, it's something that by sharing, you can then, if you are a person that's willing, you can draw something from it and make sure to not follow in my footsteps when there are the things that now I realize were not the best choices. So,
Exactly. Exactly.
Exactly.
So let's get right into this topic today, about learning from the past and doing better financially. So maybe in the past, we may have ignored issues, but in the present, we know the solution, and the solution is correcting it or being more vigilant, being more resilient, being more courageous, because it does take courage to see something that is happening to us financially and not just accepting it, not just making an excuse, not blaming, but taking your life by the horns, taking control, making a plan, and then get active in shifting it, not only for yourself, but for future generations. That's what a lot of us need to understand, that it's not just going to affect you, it affects all those who are close to you, your children, your spouse, or part significant other, or other people that you know that are close to you. Your decisions affect others.
Yes, yes. So I've came across this quote like twice this week, and so I reposted it online, and it's that knowledge isn't power until it's applied. And so we need to be okay with that. It's not okay to have the knowledge and not be putting in the work, but it's okay to not know. And then once you do, all you have to do is make that step, push yourself to put it into action. So,
Yes, I fully agree. And I love that quote, Lisa. I really love it. And welcome to everybody who is here tuning in, whether you are live or you're in the replay. Make sure to leave us some comments. We love to hear your feedback. So put some comments into the comment section. And if you can't, that's okay. If you're listening in the background, if you're busy at work or in your life doing things and just listening in, we really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. So let's get into the first point. The first point is gaining knowledge. Gain knowledge of what you don't know. Like I was saying earlier, it's not good enough to just say I don't know how to do that, because when we gain knowledge of whatever it is that we need to learn, you learn it. And don't act like you don't know what you are doing or reading. There's a plethora of things that we can tap into, like financial advisors. There's books and podcasts. There's so much information. So if you don't know how to do something and you want to do it financially, then gain the knowledge and don't make the excuses.
okay, okay. I'm not I want people to take it easy when, thinking they need the financial advisors, because sometimes you can lose a lot to them. So there could be the right fit out there, but make sure you're doing your research and finding the right fit and not losing. Definitely a situation where you're losing 1% of your portfolio. Have your eyes open to that. That number, 1%, might sound tiny, but think about it long term. Think about it as your portfolio gets to five, six, 700,000, those type of levels. Um, because there's a lot that you can do on your own.
Thank you so much, Lisa. And I will agree with you. This is just information. Everything that I share over here, I am not a financial guru. I am just sharing some things that I have learned, and we talk about things. And I do agree with Lisa that yes, there are financial advisors, but you also have to know the direction of what you want to do. And that's just what it is. It's just advice. But it's up to you whether you want to apply it, you want to listen to it, what you want to do with your money, because we all know how difficult it is to make money, and a bad decision can affect you. I actually will say can ruin you from being off track from your goals if you're not careful.
Mm. Something, even though, I don't know too much details about construction or, the current price of different building materials. But if I was going to this is why when I go about doing things that say I don't have that much knowledge about, even if it's something medical, they say, you're not supposed to get yourself too caught up with trying to figure things out. But whenever I go to a meeting, the point is that I'm trying to make is when I go into something, I try to do a little bit of research for myself so that I can have some level of understanding, have a bit of a standard for myself. If I was going to have some work done, maybe say, okay, I'm not going to make a move until I get 4 estimates, so that you can have a range, you can have the detail, you can know, so they're charging me this much for labor, this much for the actual water heater and transporting it. And you can then weigh all the different amounts that you're getting. And I'm saying this so that with whatever that you're working on in your financial life, or personal life, that you have a bar and you do some research. And the point that I'm trying to really make is that if you go there and you're just a blank slate and you're just willing to accept whatever you're told, I don't think that's a good way to walk into different situations. You need a little bit of a standard. You need, to set the bar. You need to have something that you're bringing to the table.
Exactly, Lisa. You have to have something that you're bringing to the table, and I am very big on don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't just follow the advice of everybody, because what may work for one may not work for the other. So you must know what you want to do. You must know what's working. Do your research, as Lisa mentioned, and go for it. I wanted to highlight a comment from Always That Girl. She said that I invested in income properties, six duplexes, making me have 12 rentable properties. That's amazing. So I'm sure that Always did her research and did her thing, and now she's reaping the benefits of that. Lisa, do you have anything to add before we move to the next point?
No, that rental portfolio that you just mentioned, that is awesome. And yeah, I do really try to give my knowledge that I have about, the stock market, because I feel like that's something that a broader amount of people have access to. But as long as whatever you're investing into is working and thriving for you, then it's a good fit. I know that heavily relying on the stock market is not the best fit for everyone, but it can be paired with other things like real estate. But many people, when they start working, they have that 401k, or even if they do it on their own Roth IRA. I want people to know that investing looks different for everyone, and there are ways to invest with a much lower budget before you're ready to move on to buying, duplexes or something like that. You could still always be investing when it comes to the stock market.
Exactly. It's starting where you are. My dad used to always say, make whatever you have, make it work for you. No excuses. So start small. And there's no set number to where you have to say, I have to have this amount, because that gets in a lot of people's way, feeling that they have to have a certain amount of money, a certain amount to invest, or I don't have as much as this person or that person. Start where you are, but what matters is to start and to gain that knowledge, apply it to your life, know what works for you and your family, but just to do it.
Yep, just definitely run your own race. We all have different circumstances. We all have different family sizes, live in different states, have a different income. So I'm not here to compare myself to anyone.
Exactly, Lisa. This is not a comparison. This is for us. We're building a community of empowerment, of learning and growing, because what what Lisa shares about investing, what Always shares about her income properties, that one or both may work for somebody. And for me, it's looking at other people and using that as a way of being encouraged, being motivated, being inspired to say, if Lisa can do it, or Always can do it, or Marlene can do it, I can do it too. That's what we want in this community, for us to not look at other people on the outside and try to compare. You don't compare or compete with other people. You just work on yourself and just make it happen. One thing at a time, little by little, until you get where you want to be.
I hear that. Exactly.
Yes. So let's go on to the next point. Number 2 is to be honest with yourself. Now, this is this is the thing, everybody. Many people will tell, like, in their head, feel like I'm okay right now financially, but we can always improve. If there's something, maybe you're not it, you could invest more, or maybe you could be doing better with your budgeting. Maybe you could find ways to, whatever is the holes, where you're trying to find a way to find where are the leaks. What could I be doing better? Am I wasting money? Am I not doing enough? Is there more that I can do? These are the things that we need to talk about, to be honest, to be transparent. And also, what is not working? Maybe in your portfolio, maybe you could be reworking it, investing your money in different places, doing different things, but being honest and saying, this is not working for me. How can I do better? And then making a plan, looking into it, gaining the knowledge, and then pivoting.
Yeah, we are living in a different world. This past weekend, I saw a friend of mine. I went to school with her from third grade through graduating high school together. So longtime friends. And her oldest daughter and my youngest daughter are about a year apart in age. So they've started hanging out a little bit together, which is beautiful to see. But just thinking about when we were graduating high school, it's just totally a different world from, the guidance that we now need to give to our daughters. Her oldest daughter just finished her first year of college, and my daughter's going to be going to college. I don't even know. It's just with AI and technology and so many jobs being eliminated. I hear what you're saying. And when I read that point, when you shared the point with me, this is what it made me think about, that we have to be ready. We are in a new economy. We are living in a new world, and we surely cannot, what we were told when we were graduating from high school, none of it applies, barely any of it applies to what we can give as encouragement to our daughters today. We wouldn't be picking up a map like we did way back when we had to get somewhere. Things have evolved from, just everything has changed so drastically, and we have to be ready to always have our eyes open to it. So I don't know, with people starting their career or trying to get into a career right now, there's so many college graduates out here that can't even find a job, that are having to take jobs that are can barely get them on track to be able to pay their bills, as well as their loans that they took out to get this education. So a lot of thought needs to be put into what potentially can be a way of having a substantial career, having a career that can actually have you on track to have a reasonable earnings. And even with that, even if how much work you put into trying to decide that, it still may become outdated more quickly than you would imagine.
Exactly, Lisa. Exactly, Lisa. We have to understand is this sustainable? Like I remember back a long time ago, there were so many jobs that people were trying to do, and many of those jobs now have been replaced by AI or different different apps and things like that. So certain jobs now are not available. So the thing about this point and knowing, being honest with yourself, the things that worked in the past may not work today. You have to know the market changes, the economy change, and we have to keep in mind everything doesn't work out. You just learn lessons and you do better, or you do the best that you can, and it doesn't make you a failure, especially in this economy. Many of us just we never saw some of these things coming, and many people were blindsided. So many people lost so much, but it don't give up. Don't feel that you're the only one. That's what I want this conversation to be encouraging. Many people have lost money. Many people, it's slow growth. Many people are struggling financially to keep a roof over their head, take care of their families. So just do the best that you can. It's not about perfection, it's about change and doing what you can where you can.
Yes, and YouTube, even if you don't have, you're not sharing, you're just a viewer. It's a great place that you can find someone that's on your journey. You don't, you can just watch. You don't even have to comment. I, if you're following me, I hope you can find it there to comment and be a part of the conversation. But by having the technology in places like we have today with YouTube, you can find someone there that's going through what you're going through, that's on the same financial journey, weight loss journey, spiritual, whatever it is. And you can know, just like Marlene is saying, you're definitely not alone. Marlene, do
Exactly.
you want to set a new goal?
Oh, I didn't even know. Okay, I'll
Because
reset it.
you're past your original one, you're getting new ones.
I didn't even realize. Thank you, Lisa. So, welcome in. Hi to Sharia. Hi, always. Hi, everybody.
Hello to Sharia, aka I will never forget you as Frugal Mama.
Exactly. You're always going to be sorry, but you always will be wellness with Frugal Mama to me. I apologize.
But I like both channel names. There's some people that I their channel name was just a bit much for me, and I said, please, if you don't mind sharing your real name that or a different name that I can call you.
Exactly, Lisa. Exactly. Awesome channels. Hold on a second, guys, while I reset my goal. I want to thank everybody who has donated to the the channel. All everything that I do here, it goes back into the channel. I'm trying to improve, and you guys know that things cost money. So I definitely, I'm trying to upgrade my office YouTube space, but it will come when it's time. So hold on, I'm just about to reset this goal, and I think start a new goal. It's not letting me do it for some reason. I don't know. Anyways, I'm just going to let it be because that's what it is. It doesn't want me to reset it. So let's get back. Go ahead, Lisa.
No, I wasn't going to say anything. I was just unmuting. You give the direction on what we're going to next.
Okay. So the next point is Know your income, know your money. Now, many of us, we have these goals. We know where we want to be, but do you actually know where you are financially? And it is so surprising to me that many don't even know how much income do you make? What is your take home, or how much is your business actually making? You can have this idea, this thought in your head, but do you have like the numbers written down, and however you do it on paper, in an app? You need to know how your money is doing, know your money, and how much they actually earn. Um, you can't just sit on the sidelines. This is your life. You have to get in the game. You have to get into knowing where your money is heading. Is it doing as much as it can do, or is there something more that I could be doing? So it's very important that each of us knows our money, knows how much we're making, how much we're earning, and how we can pivot that. How can we improve it and make our finances better by making sometimes small changes, other times big changes, but it's about making change.
Yeah, this is an area that I definitely feel like you might need to take time, do a little homework on, take 10, 20, 30 minutes and take a close look at your finances and really see, is there anywhere, if you're saying to yourself, oh, it's hard to deal with certain bills and I don't have anything left, is there somewhere, is there some money leaks? Is there something that could be cut from your budget? And also, when it comes to, investing and taking a look at how your investments can grow over time, as far as, the stock market, use the investment calculator. In a live that I did this week, I put in one of my portfolio balances and without adding any additional money to it, which I'm not going to on this particular account, I put in a 10% rate of return in 10 years and I calculated it so that I can see, just by letting this sit, not touching it, not tapping into it, potentially what it can grow to. We need to take those extra little steps so that we can know what is retirement going to look like for us. And then from there, push yourself to just keep on going harder if the numbers are not lining up, if we're not seeing, what's in store for us.
Exactly, Lisa. It's about being honest, being real, being realistic. And like Lisa said, in this economy, things are not this is not your mother, your grandmother's financial thing. This is your life. You have to take control of your financial situation, your financial literacy. It's This is literally a wake up call, that if you haven't been doing what you need to do, now it's not too late. No, I want for us to understand that. All of my motivators family, know your money. N- don't make excuses. Your money isn't just going to come out of thin air. You're just not going to improve. You're not going to get the dividends that you want to get just by, like, oh, okay, maybe I'll do something later and it's going to miraculously happen. It doesn't work that way. That's why me and Lisa, we do this podcast for us to really get serious about our financial situation, about our portfolio, about everything, so that we can be in a better alignment.
Yes, yes. Don't be intimidated. I know, especially when it comes to debt, that was the most painful part for me, is when you have to take the time to list out all of the, say, for example, your credit card bills or whatever debt you have, and then I would put the balance, of course, with it, but also any interest rates there, and add them all up together. You have to face those numbers. And I know it's tough at times, but That's the only way that you're gonna truly know what you're battling against and be able to really tackle it in a way that can have you to get on track. And as you accomplish paying down those goals and paying down those bills and crossing them off, find motivation in it. But you can't just not face the numbers, whether it's understanding your numbers of what's coming in, what's going out, how much you're losing to those high interest rates, all of them, face those numbers.
Yes, Lisa. Great advice. Face those numbers. Now, number 4, automatic payments. Now, this is something that when I was younger, I was very afraid of doing these automatic things because I always said, "Well, I'll do it later, after I pay my bills, after I do X, Y, and Z." But if you are saying, "I'll do it later," it may never happen, unfortunately. But having your money automatically invested and transferred on payday or whenever you receive money, you will be able to make a conscious decision to succeed and to improve and to do better. So try to look into doing some things automatically, and it doesn't mean that you have to do these big amounts. If what you can do right now is $5, $10, a little bit is better than nothing at all.
Yes, and it keeps you out of getting into that place of invest what's left. Make your investments, make saving and investing a priority. And by automating a certain amount, that's what you're doing for yourself. And also, um, no matter who you are, life happens. You're going to get a flat tire. You're going to have a family member that's ill, or things can happen that get you a little bit off track. But by having some things automated, it's out of your hands and taken care of for you when your willpower or when things are just there that are distracting you from being able to keep to your perfect regimen.
Exactly, Lisa. And that falls right into our next point. Number 5, prepare the next generation for success. Now, I can say for myself, I did have parents that talked about, budget and credit and things like that. And I saw my parents have investment properties and things like that. So I was prepared a little bit, but it's a completely different thing when you become an adult to really know what to do with your money and have that how does this apply to me? What should I do? And that's one of the things that I want to make sure that the next generation, whether it's your children, cousins, other people that you care about, your loved ones, are prepared and you talk to them about, I tried this and this really didn't work. Maybe you should try. Give them some clues, not just have them out there in the deep end drowning. We want to prepare the next generation for success. Maybe some things that help them, maybe set them up, have conversations, talk about things so that you know where their head is.
Yeah, definitely. Guys, share in the chat. Like, did you guys have these conversations with your family? Did you have an idea of the utility bills and the insurance and all of the things that your parents were paying to keep the household going? I surely did not have those type of conversations, and I'm trying to have them with my daughter now as much as possible. I was just thinking about recently. I told her I was having someone come out to clean the furnace, and I asked her just to go and make sure there's no totes or anything in the way because the maintenance man was coming. From the person, the service provider was going to be coming out. And then I went downstairs and my daughter had moved and tidied up the area by the oil tank. And I said, "Oh, I guess she needed more detail on this because she's cleaning up the wrong area of the basement. And so uh, there's just always little things that happen that show me when I say something to her, I need to talk a little bit more. And I've told her recently, like, I know when you go out into the world, you might not have all of the bills that I have running the household that I live in, as far as oil, gas, water, all those different things. But I just like to touch on that with her so that she has an understanding of all of the expenses that I have, what it takes, and the amount of responsibility it is to have the type of home that she's grown up in. Whether she gets into something similar herself, or she's living with roommates, or however her life plays out over the next few years, I want her to have an understanding of what it takes and what all the bills actually cost nowadays.
Exactly. Exactly, Lisa. You're preparing your daughter for the future. And also, it's not just your kids, your grandkids, cousins, loved ones. Um, Even having those conversations about what is the future going to look like um, after I'm not here. We really don't like to talk about that most of the time in um, our communities. We don't. That's very uncomfortable. But you definitely should have those end of life things prepared, planned, so that there's not any arguing or discord. You know, Lots of toxicity that can happen when there was no preparation, there was no conversations. You should be preparing the next generation of knowing what is going to be next, and talking to them realistically about how the monthly bills are, what you want for the future, how long did it take you to make this amount of money, and what are some of the things that you did, because we don't want, whether it's your kids or other people that are in the family, to turn into an adult that has zero financial literacy. We want to break that generational brokenness and create financial growth and prosperity, financial healing. I want for the next generation to not have to worry about the things that I worried about. That makes my mind rest well, knowing that there's some things that I was frazzled about, that I know this next generation is in a much better space than I was at their age.
Knowledge really is power, and um, you have to know how to look at it. Imagine we came into $1 million today. Anyone listening, myself, Marlene, some would think, oh, this is a lot, and just be running through it and spending and gifting and traveling and depleting it. But others would say, okay, I can treat myself with this portion, but I want to make sure that a large amount of it is over here building and replenishing back the money so that potentially I never drop below the million. Some people would just run through it and not have that mindset of, let me make sure that this money is making me more money, investing it into a business or into the stock market so that it's growing, and only using the the gains potentially. That's how I would go about it, and that's how, even if I use a large amount of $1 million, but on any scale, on with every paycheck, with every dollar, I think this is the way that we need to look at it. If we earn the dollar, don't just spend every dollar. Make sure that we're having saving and investing as a part of it, so that our money is always growing. When we run into an issue, we're not running ourselves into debt because we had the mindset to have some money set over here into this account for the car repairs that we know are coming, for whatever could happen. And also investing money going to another account that's going to be growing at an even higher rate than just sitting in that nice, safe, high yield savings account.
Number six, traditional banks aren't the solution. And before you guys come for me, I am not against the banking system or anything like that. But it's just for us to have the empowerment that banks aren't the only thing that we can do. They aren't the only solution, that there is more out there. And I think that it's important for us to understand that we have options online that is better than a traditional bank. The rates, um, and the benefits that you get online, it's unmatched. So trying to open and widen your lens, because I remember growing up, and there's certain things that my parents, because of their age, they thought this is the only options that I have. We don't want to limit our growth potential. We want to make sure that we can pad our accounts and make sure that we're making our money work as hard and as much as it can. And we can do that. So the banking thing is for, it's a reason. There's certain reasons why we need to have the traditional banks, but that's not the only options for us to grow our money.
Yeah, I just try to keep, I have an account at my local bank, whatever is the local bank for you, the big bank, Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, those type of banks. Yeah, those interest rates are terrible, like 0.01%. So I just have my checking account there, really, just an in and out amount of money. I make sure to keep as much as possible in my high yield savings account, which is currently with Discover, but I think they were acquired by um, Capital One or some other bank. But um, yeah, we need to. It's something that might seem different and a little uncomfortable, but it is well worth it. Make sure you're going with a reputable bank, insured to the level of whatever you're going to be holding in that account. It's usually quite substantial, like $250,000. Um, so you have to do what you're comfortable with, but I know if you do your research, there are plenty of reputable online banks out there that can have you on track for these higher APYs. There's no reason to have any substantial amount in these local banks. Just, I want you to have emergency savings, sinking funds, whatever you call them. But yeah, maximize your money, maximize every dollar is my goal. What do you think, Marlene?
Yes,
Yes,
I
I
believe
believe.
I believe in making sure that you make every dollar work. Make sure that you're getting the best rate. You're yielding the best benefits. You're getting everything that you need to maximizing your growth potential. And that's so important, as we're getting older, as you're getting closer to retirement and all of those things. So, number 7, use your employer match. I i wish, because I'm kind of upset with myself and I'm trying to get over it, but when I first started my job, for so many years, i I always knew that there was an employer match, but I just didn't think it was very important. So I had like 6 or 7 years that I did not use my employer match for whatever it is I'm trying to invest in and save in. And, I regret that. But now that I've learned things, and I've grown and I've understood why it's so important. So if you're going to it's like getting a leg up, getting an assist to help you to improve and grow in your portfolios or your savings, why not use what you have? Use your employer match. If they're going to allow you to get X, Y, and Z, take it. Take advantage of everything that you can get so you can get where you want to be.
Agreed, agreed. Yeah. And if for some reason, I mean, you can invest a substantial amount. I think a very comfortable amount for everyone that is probably listening from through your 401k between what you can contribute and your employer match. You can definitely at a minimum to a max be between $30,000 to $70,000 that you're investing. So most likely you don't need to have any additional investing accounts outside of that. But if for some reason you are not thrilled with the options as far as that you might be limited to because it is a 401k or a 403b, then I would definitely still take advantage, invest up to the point where you're getting the full match, get that free money, comb through all of the options, the available investment choices to find the best one. The one that you may be defaulted into may not be the best one. Could be something else that tracks the S&P 500 that has lower fees. It's a matter of finding out the detail. But I say all that to say is if you take advantage up to the max of your employer plan and then want to do something different with more flexibility on what you can choose to invest into, then you can do your own Roth IRA with a brokerage company, for example, Fidelity. And, the max, the contribution rates, they change by year. Right now, I think under 50, it's a little over 7,000. Over 50, you get an additional 1,000 or so. So you're in the $8,000 plus range. So you can do a mix of things, but yes, I always encourage people to try to take advantage of that free match in the best way possible.
Yes, Lisa. Thank you so much for those words. I just want to encourage somebody who's listening, especially if we have some younger listeners, those who are not even to the 21 age space, to really maximize and do everything that you can while you're young. And even if you're older, even if you're closer to your retirement age, we can make the money do to the best potential possible, right? Use your employer match. So, this is one that you guys please learn from me. Don't wait until you're over 40 to start. And I know because life is lifing and being, maybe you've had some things, some setbacks in your life, losing job, layoff. It could be anything. It could be a plethora of things that could have happened to you financially as to why you're not where you want to be. But don't wait until you're over 40 to start. Not that you can't start when you're 40, but don't wait until you get closer to that time, because you could have so much more. You could be so much more comfortable. You could have so many things wrapped up, and if you just stay the course, start early, maximize, do everything that you need to. So don't wait. Don't procrastinate. Don't make excuses, even if it's a small number, but just be consistent and do everything you need to do so that when you are ready, when it is the time, you can relax and retire or be comfortable. And for me, it's nothing better than knowing that I did all the work that I was supposed to do, and now I can relax from all my hard work.
Yeah, something is better than nothing. You can't go back in time. We can't go back to being 21 and make different choices. So, if you're in your 40s or your 50s, do what you can and don't beat yourself up about it. There's nothing we can do about it. I have people reach out to me and you can hear in their tone and they're kind of feeling defeated, even asking me like, is it too late? And I always say no. I want you to have something. I want you to make some improvement. I want you to get on track to build something additional than just having your Social Security. So this is our starting place, and we just have to, move forward from here.
Exactly, exactly, Lisa. So you start where you are, and that's so important. So, number 9, if you start early, you will benefit. Now, I know that just about everybody who was just like me, just thinking, I'm young, I have a lot of time, I'm not worried about it. Because when I was young, it was all about, wearing certain brands and being cute and having fun with friends and going out to eat, as you should, because you're young, you're enjoying life. That's a part of it. But also, we will also want to be responsible. If you start early, you will receive so many benefits. You can retire early if you plan for it. You don't have to wait until 62 plus. For me, one of the best things that I feel like, if everybody's waiting until 62, and what if you could retire at 50, 45? That would be amazing. That would be wonderful. If you start early, you will benefit in the long run. So, kind of think about the long run and keeping something to the side, making sure that you're utilizing everything you need to, and reworking whatever is not working so that you can benefit when you're ready. Because if you start early, you can retire early.
Yes, it's going to take a lot of work, but I didn't have these things did not cross my mind when I was young, that I could retire early, that I need to invest more heavily, that I need to prioritize certain things now so that I'm definitely eliminating the need to have to be working into my 60s. I didn't know that retirement is a dollar amount. It's how much work that you put in to create financial stability for yourself. It's not an age. And so I now I see people that are asking me questions that are working towards that. And it's a lot, they have to put in a lot of work in order to do it. But if that's the goal that they want, then they're going to achieve it because they are looking at it in a realistic way. And I'm always pointing out things like, like we've talked about in the past live streams, that and it should, certain things are more clear, like if you're not working, if neither you or your spouse are working, then your health care is 100% on you, especially if you want to retire in your 50s. That's many years that you're going to have to bridge the gap to being able to tap into your retirement accounts, being able to collect Social Security, being able to get some of those Medicaid and Medicare and those type of things. So you have to be ready to pay for your health expenses out of pocket. And then, in addition to that, like the things that we have touched on in past live streams, you may need additional help with someone to help care for you, reconfiguring your home if you want to stay in it in order to make it more accessible as your mobility may be different and things may be too much for you to handle. The snow removal, the power washing of the house, the dealing with the lawn, all those things are chores that may need to be outsourced. So we have to be ready for it.
Exactly, Lisa. And these are the things that you don't really think about when you're younger, but as you get older and as you mentioned, your mobility starts to shift, then you really start thinking about, man, who is going to cover these expenses? Who is going to help me with these things? And we have to stop thinking and expecting that it's going to be your children or siblings or people around you, because we never know. We never know how things are going to be, or if they're going to be around, or they're going to want to, or capable of helping us. So, you start early and you will benefit. And Number 10, if you start early, it will show. If you sacrifice early when you're young, you can be comfortable when everyone else is scrambling around. And I'm not saying it to shame others, or but I'm it's the reality. If you make better decisions when you start early, it will show. You will benefit. And I think it's one of the most amazing things that you could be probably 45 years old and be set for retirement. And maybe now you can just do your hobbies or fun things and charities, humanitarian work, just really enjoying life instead of scrambling around, being stressed out, um, being forced to go to employment in your 70s, even sometimes I dare say 80s, because of not making the choices, not planning, not thinking about certain things like Lisa mentioned, in your elder care that you will need. So, start early, think about those things, like about your preventative care, your aged care, your home care, and all of those other things, and start early and make funds and plans. Because if you start early, if you have plans, if you've allocated that money, then you won't have to worry about it as much as if you did nothing.
Yeah, and I don't want you to think about the sacrifice as you have to be uncomfortable, miserable. Don't think about it like that. But be realistic on the lifestyle creep and the way that you're spending. And what I mean is make sure that you're not living drastically above your means. You want to be comfortable later. I want you to be somewhat comfortable now. So find a balance. You don't need to be putting so much of your income into housing, into car, into those luxurious things if you're not able to invest at the same rate, at the rate that's going to create that lifestyle that you want in the future, that potential to not be working into your 60s or 70s. So that might mean a little bit of sacrifice. Not saying, I'm not saying you have to be out here catching the train or the bus or walking, but do things within reason. Have a more reasonable vehicle with reasonable maintenance costs and those type of things. Um, don't overextend yourself to the max when it comes to your housing costs. Potentially, if you want to live alone, which maybe most people probably are interested in at least having that capability and not having to have a roommate, um, find something that is within reason. So you're not overextending yourself, leaving yourself in the place where you're gonna have to work uh, much longer. I don't want to use certain words on Marlene's channel, but we don't want to be working to the end of days.
Yes, Lisa. We don't want to be working until the end of days. We want to make sure that we can relax and enjoy life and not just be working. As always, that girl mentioned earlier, that yes, we make money, we work hard, but also making sure we put something in our budget for fun and entertainment, not overextending, not doing too much that we are are behind on bills, or living this lavish lifestyle that we cannot afford, but making sure that we're doing everything that we need to so that we can be comfortable as we age. And we're here at the last point. I can't believe it. This has been an amazing conversation. Number 11, make your money work for you, not just the face value. Make sure that every dollar, everything that you're doing, make sure your money is working hard. Make sure your investments are are receiving those dividends. Make sure that, maybe if you're into real estate or some other things, that make sure that your money is making money, and you're not doing things that you could be doing better. So we have to think, we have to look, we have to be honest, be real, and then make some changes. But we want to make our money work for us and not just sit there, when it could be, we could be getting some benefits from it.
Yeah, the way you just said sit there, it made me think of someone who every time she was mentioning her portfolios to me, that's how she would describe it, like with such disdain, like it's just sitting there. And yeah, that's not the way when I look at my portfolio, maybe sometimes on the short term, I have those type of feelings, but long term, I never want to feel like that. I know the power of investing. I know that I want my money. I'm trying to, no, not trying. I have built a system where my money works harder than I could ever. And so I'm just leaning into that and relying on what I have built so that every dollar has a job. I'm sending it out to do its work and bring me back more. And you mentioned dividends, the growth, the dividends, all of those things, just the compounding effect is what um, I am relying on and what I am achieving on a continual basis when it comes to what I'm building over here.
Exactly, Lisa. It's about the growth potential. It's about everything. Myself and Lisa, we both want you all to be successful financially. I want to see you guys retiring, paying off your house, paying off all those bills, all those things that are stressing you out, so that you can sit back, relax, maybe travel a little more, or just live a more comfortable life, not having to stress out about, how you're going to pay for certain bills and things. But because you made wise financial decisions, now you're making your money work for you. You're able to benefit, and now you can receive all of everything that you deserve for your hard work. I'm so proud of the financial community and the decisions that you're making. Even though it may seem small, it may seem insignificant. Other people may laugh at you, but you know the sacrifices that you're making. Make your money work hard for you. Stick to your plans. And if something isn't working for you, we can always pivot. Make your money work the best for you.
I love it. And I love being a part of these type of conversations, being around people that have this type of mindset. I assure you guys, no one else is going to say, I will be proud of you. I want to see you paying off your home. No one else is going to say those words to me other than Marlene. I will not be hearing that again. I don't know when I will hear someone giving me that encouragement again. So this is the type of thing that I want to be around. I was on someone's live on Monday and they have a 2-year-old daughter. They give their 2-year-old daughter $50 every month into their custodial account. And it just touched my heart. These are the type of things that I want to hear. These are the type of messages that I want to be sent my way. This is the type of atmosphere that I love being a part of.
Thank you so much, Lisa. And I really do. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I this is one of the reasons why I had changed the channel to Marlene Motivates, because I wanted it to be more than just positive messages about self-love. But you the financial part is a very important and essential part of you feeling good, making wise decisions, not making excuses. Whatever is not working, looking for those leaks and pushing yourself if there's something more that you can do, asking yourself these questions honestly. What can I do to improve my situation so that I can benefit, maximize my money? I want you guys to succeed and win so that you can relax and enjoy whatever years you have left. Enjoy your time with your family and not be stressed out. But because you made wise decisions, I want you to say, I made wise decisions, and I celebrate myself because I paid off my house. I celebrate myself because now my car is paid off, or I have some money. Now I can take a vacation without it having to be something that I'm having to pay back and put on a card. I can pay for it outright. These are the things that I get excited about. And I love this for our financial community, my motivators family. I want you to win. Keep going, be inspired. Look at individuals like myself and Lisa, because we're not just giving the advice, we're taking the advice, we're learning the discipline, and we're putting in the work. So, Lisa, do you have any final words?
No, but I love everything that you're throwing out there. These are the type of things that are going to impress me. Like, I bought this car outright. I want to hear more of that than knowing I have 6 or 7 years of car payments. That's the type of thing I'm going to applaud you for. We don't need to be putting ourselves into debt. But thank you for having me on as always. And I look forward to our next collaboration. I hope you have a great weekend and I will talk to you soon.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lisa. It has been an awesome collaboration. You've tuned into the Financial Friday podcast with Marlene Motivates and Lisa J. Stocks. We want you to win and succeed. And it all starts by making good decisions, where we talk about all the things money every other Friday. So next time it's going to be on Lisa J. Stocks channel. Check out her content, check out my content. And Lisa, do you have a live stream this coming Sunday?
Yes, I do try to keep to my regular schedule, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sundays.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lisa. Lisa, thank you so much, chat. Anybody in the replay, check out other Financial Fridays or a Wealth Fridays. I know Lisa has hers a little bit differently. Hers are on camera, mine are more podcasts, but we always bring great financial information. We want you to succeed. We want you to be your best. I am Marlene Motivates, your life coach, motivational speaker. I want you to win. I want you to succeed. Put in the work. Do your best so that you can be your best. I wish you guys nothing but success. And yes, TGIF, thank you to everybody for the gifts, for the super stickers, and any new subscribers. Welcome to the Motivators family. And we will see you guys next time on Lisa J. Stocks channel. Bye bye, guys.